Hello.
Is me you're looking for?
Always.
Such lies.
It's a very nice day.
It is a nice day.
Will you still walk with me?
Will you still walk with me? Will you still talk with me when you finish work? Yes.
Thanks. In this episode, we are going to focus on the beauty of life. So, for those of us that are in the Northern Hemisphere, we are just on the cusp of a festival, the Festival of Belthane. Now, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the second fire festival of the year and is a celebration of summer and the fullness of life. The flowers have returned and the leaves are on the trees, and it's definitely a good time of year to see the bright colours of nature and feel the growing warmth of the sun. Now, for those of us who are in the Southern Hemisphere, we are actually approaching the festival of Samhain, and this is the final fire festival. And traditionally, Samhain marks the end of the year. It's the end of the natural year, as in the natural cycle of life and death. And it's a good time to celebrate the ending of life, both in the natural environment as we watch the trees and the flowers lose their colour and die, but it's also a good time to celebrate the lives of those people who have passed on. So to pay our respects to our ancestors or our friends or family members who have died. Now, Samhain is seen as a celebration of darkness, which is eventually broken by Yule. For the Southern Hemisphere people, this is on the 21st of June, and Yule marks the start of the return of the light. So we're going to celebrate these festivals because traditionally they are fire festivals, and we can celebrate these festivals through the lighting of a candle or lighting a fire in the hearth, or maybe having a barbecue or a fire pit outside. It's definitely a celebration of life, because in the Northern Hemisphere it's the beginning of life with Belthane, a festival of light and fertility. And then in the Southern Hemisphere, Samhain celebrates those people who have left this world. I mean, it welcomes the darkness and endings, but with that patient respect. And it's also worth noticing that at this point of the year, the sun is actually moving through Taurus. So as Belthane starts, we are reminded that we have waited patiently through the spring for those first buds, those first blossoms, and the first fruits to start to appear. And if we are celebrating Samhain, we are reminded of the preciousness of life. And as a result, Taurus symbolises patience and provides a stabilising influence through those difficult feelings of change. Taurus also has Venus as its ruling planet, which is the planet of beauty. So all the while we are invited to admire the beauty of life. How else can we choose to celebrate this festival? Well, for this episode, I'm going to focus on those of us who are in the Southern Hemisphere, and I'm going to talk you through a year-end spread and a year beginning spread. So we're going to do a tarot card spread for you today. I'm going to talk you through what a 13 card spread looks like, so that you can then try this at home in order to welcome the new year. So this is our version of a New Year spread, and of course I caveat all of this with the fact that everyone has their own way of reading the cards. For example, for us, tarot cards aren't particularly good or bad. And for us, the clue as to whether the information in the tarot card is intended to be read positively or negatively is where they appear in the spread. So what do we mean by this? Well, thinking about whether that card is in a blocking or in a fears position, that will be able to tell you whether the information in the card should be read as its shadow side or not. Okay, so this is a 13 card New Year spread for anyone who wants to try one, but particular focus on our Samhain people, the people who are celebrating Samhain at this time of year. So I would like you to imagine 13 tarot cards. We're going to lay them out in 3 rows with 5 on the top, 3 cards in the middle, and then another 5 along the bottom. Now this is how we're going to place them. Card number 1 will be placed face down furthest on the left of the top row. Next to that is card number 2. Now we're going to leave a little gap. Card number 3 is placed face down a little away from card number 2, further to the right. Card number 4 is placed next to card number 3 on the right hand side. Card number 5 is placed face down and it's going to go across, so horizontally, cards 3 and 4 over on the right. Now that's our first row of 5 cards. Now the second row will have 3 cards in it. So place card number 6 underneath card number 2. So it's over to the left, in the middle, over to the left a little bit. Then card number 7 goes next to card number 6 on the right hand side of card number 6. So imagine that card number 7 sits underneath that little gap that we left between cards 2 and 3. Card number 8 then sits on the right hand side face down of card number 7. So that's our middle row. It's got 3 cards in it, cards 6, 7 and 8, and they are in the middle row. Now, so the bottom row with card number 9 placed face down furthest to the left. Card 10 faces down and is placed on the right hand side of card 9. Card number 11 is faced down and placed across cards 9 and 10 horizontally. Now just notice how cards 9, 10 and 11 are mirroring cards 3, 4 and 5. Card 12 is placed further to the right, leaving a little gap between cards 10 and 12, and card 13 is placed on the right hand side of card 12. So notice again that cards 12 and 13 are mirroring cards 1 and 2 on the top row. That's our 13 card spread. So we've laid it all out. Now I'm going to talk you through what to do with the cards in this spread. So card number 1, remember the top left hand card. This card symbolises the previous 12 months and is essentially a summary card. So all that has happened in the last 12 months, this is what is encapsulated in card number 1, and it can indicate you, it can indicate your feelings, or it might be about a main theme of all the events that have happened. Card number 2, next to card 1, this card is the biggest lesson from the previous 12 months. This card describes the biggest lesson that you've learned over the past year. Now, if this card shows up in the reversed position, it could mean you haven't quite learned this lesson yet. So just bear that in mind. Card number 3. So this group of cards, cards 3, 4 and 5, are all around what do you hope for. So whereas cards 1 and 2 were summary cards, cards 3, 4 and 5 are all hope cards. So card number 3 are your hopes for the next 12 months. Now, card number 3, this is a card of reflection of what you are hoping for now. So it will show up any desires, beliefs or feelings that you might not be aware of. But these are the things that are powerfully affecting the way you prepare to move forward into the next year. Card number 4 is what will help to get you there. So this card is an action card or an advice card that speaks about card number 3. So remember, card number 3 are what you hope for the next 12 months. Card number 4 is what will help get you there. So it's an invitation to bring your awareness to the message of card number 4. See it as a positive instruction to help you achieve your goals, even if the card you get is traditionally a bad card. Try to see the light side of the interpretation of card number 4. It's there to give you some advice. Card number 5, now this is the one that's laying across cards 3 and 4. This is what will get in the way. So it's like a little red flag or a little warning. So this card, card number 5, can represent your conscious attitude or events that might come up or situations that you need to be aware of. Generally, card number 5 is a block, and it's there to warn you of what might be getting in the way of you achieving your goals. So it might be a block for the action you need to take in card 4, or it might be an unconscious block to what you are hoping for from card 3. Now remember, if this card turns up and it's a traditionally positive card, try to see the shadow side of that card, because this is in a blocking position. Now the middle row, cards 6, 7 and 8, these all talk about the key areas of life. And if major arcana cards appear in this section, these indicate the key area of your life that's going to be the most important aspect for you to focus on. So if you've got even one major arcana card here, that's the area that needs focus. It's not to say that the rest of them don't, of course, but that's where your energy is going to be over the next 12 months. So card number 6 then. This is your relationship with other people. So this card is all about the external influences in the world. So it doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship. It's just how your presence in the world will be impacted by other people. Card number 7 is all around career, work and money. So this card shows the things to be aware of in relation to your work. Your education, for example, or the projects that you're working on for the next 12 months. Card number 8 is your relationship with yourself. This card is all about you and how you see yourself. So it could be about your well-being or your confidence. So with card number 8, it's useful to have a look at how cards 3, 4 and 5 interact with it. So how does your relationship with yourself show up in your hopes, for example, in the hopes section? Right, the bottom row, cards 9, 10 and 11 are all the things you are avoiding. So card number 9, What are you worried about? So this card might be about your fears for the next 12 months. Now, it's interesting if card 3 and card 9 are opposite each other, and this might be like a retraction. So your hopes and your fears, how do they interact with each other? So card 9 might also be a block to moving forwards and achieving all that you hope for. So have a look again at how card 9 and card 5, which again was the block to the hopes, how does card 9 and card 5 interact? Maybe they're very, very similar, and it's just worth investigating that. Card number 10 is an indication of where these fears come from. So this might represent one possible root cause of your fears. So if it's in the reverse position, so if card number 10 is upside down, this might indicate that it's not something you have a conscious awareness of. So just investigate that. If you get card number 10 in the reverse position, it might be that these are unconscious fears. Card number 11 is what can help you release these fears. Again, like card number 5, it's an advice card or an action card. Sorry, like card number 4. It's an action card. And it's a suggestion to help you kind of let go of your fears. What's going to help you there? What's going to help you release those fears? Cards 12 and 13 are the next 12 months in the summary. So card number 12, this is the biggest lesson that you will learn over the next 12 months. And it might represent the one thing that you should be open to learning over the next year. And card number 13 is the year in summary. So this card is a summary of all the things that could happen in the next 12 months. So, for example, it could indicate how you are seen in the world, or any of your feelings that need attention, or it could symbolize the main theme that's running through the events of the next 12 months. And that's our 13 card spread. We hope that you're able to get something from that, and especially celebrating Samhain at this upcoming festival. We hope that you're able to use that New Year, New You spread going forward. We'll see you next time. So that's it. That's our show. If you liked it, give us a rating and review, share with others, tell your friends. You'll find all our contact stuff over at magentaschoolofmagic.com, including our social media and links to the Magick School itself.